think of it as a red state. This is a state where Democrats have Michelle Nunn, the daughter of Sam Nunn, sort of very impressive resume. They think if things break right, she can win this year. Big crowded Republican primary. Saxby Chambliss is retiring. You got 5 candidates in the Republican primary. The Democratic hope going into this thing was, you can see them on the screen there, the 2 guys now at the bottom, Brown and Gingrey. Gingrey, for instance, was one of the only people to come out to Todd Aiken's defense when he made the legitimate rape comment last year. The hope for Democrats was you nominate Brown, you nominate Gingrey. They scare off the moderate voters, and that's Michelle Nunn's path to victory. Looks like they're fading. Looks like they're not going to make this is a runoff state. Like neither one is going to make the runoff. Does that end Democrats' chances, or do they still have a shot at this thing?
Well, Democrats, of course, would argue that they all are so far to the right on their positions that, of course, they'd have a chance. But it gets very difficult. The swing voters in this are sort of Republican-leaning suburban voters. And it just seems unlikely they'd have too much of a problem with someone like David Perdue. His chief vulnerability would probably be elements of his business record. He's a millionaire, former CEO of Dollar General, Reebok, and one issue, though, is that some of his companies haven't gone so well. He worked for Hagar's Menswear in the 90s when they were outsourcing all their production to countries like Mexico. So there's some of this populist vulnerability. But those voters are probably going to stick Republican in this race. They're hard for Nunn to get. Michelle Nunn's big advantage is that she might be able to convince some of the more moderate, conservative-leaning suburban women especially to come over. Kingston and Perdue don't leave too much of an opening for that.
Yeah, and Georgia, look, it's a state that's changing demographically. It might not be this year, but this is one Democrats are looking for the next 10 years to change. I just say quickly, we don't have time here, but look out for Karen Handel in this thing. I think if anybody could sneak up there, she was, started that whole Planned Parenthood Susan Komen Foundation controversy a couple years ago. She's running with Sarah Palin's endorsement. It's an interesting story to watch how she's trying to move up, and keep an eye on her, because I don't think that one's quite over yet. But anyway, thanks to MSNBC.com's Benji Sarlin. A lot to get through there. Quick time. Really appreciate it.